My name's Elsby. Welcome to my channel. A year ago now, this happened last year, my senior year, the beginning of my senior year of college. I don't know, just talk, maybe like if anybody who's watching has also been through something similar, like you guys can also relate and understand, and kind of put your comments below about what you think about the situation. And yeah, I got these nails, ooh, at CVS, by the way. I love like nails like this, and I wanted to get some just like simple French ones, but not like the bright white, something a little more mellowed down. So to start, I should probably give the people in this story nicknames. So my ex-boyfriend, we're gonna call him Chicago. And my ex-best friend, we're gonna call her Houston. Okay, so Chicago and Houston. I'm gonna start with Houston because Houston and I met each other way longer than I met Chicago. So Houston and I had met in Chinese class. I took Chinese in college. We had 201 class. It was the first class ever. It was spring semester of my sophomore year. And that's when we started being friends. You know, in Chinese class all the time, what would happen is we would rotate partners for each lesson, and she was my partner for one of the lessons. And we got really close in this time. And then our other friend, Jillian, who's my bestie to this day, love her to death, she was also in that class. She also kind of joined in our friend group as well. And then a girl who I'm still friends with, Josephine, she is also still my friend, and we were like kind of like a friend group. A few other people in our Chinese class we would always hang out with, but it was mainly us four all together. We would go to like Chinese club like later in the semester in like April or May. Me and Houston went to a Sabrina Carpenter concert. This was her Emails I Can't Send tour. I drove up with her. We drove like the 2 hours from Tucson to Phoenix. Like, we were close. And so my junior year in, what was it? My junior year, and it's like a week before Halloween, is when I met Chicago. He was a friend of a friend. My RA actually threw a Halloween party, and Chicago was there, and that's where I met Chicago. That's when I met him, and you know, we were seeing each other, whatever. I ended up like setting up a thing where we all went to Two Hands to meet, and she met him, he met her. They were fine around each other. However, in Chinese class, like the day after or something like that, she ended up telling me like, oh, you could do so much better, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, you're right. You're definitely right. I know that now. At the time, I was like, no, he's nice. I was very forgiving because I didn't really know my self-worth. Me and Chicago's relationship goes on. There are definitely red flags, which I'll tell my whole relationship with Chicago another time because that's a whole nother story. While in a relationship with Chicago, I was getting more and more frustrated with Houston because Houston, it was a recurring thing that me, Jillian, and Josephine also noticed. Houston would always text us either about boys. She would always have a new boy in her life every like week or 2 weeks. Like, it was always something new. Or she would text us about like getting a ride to go off campus. Me and Jillian both had cars, so we can go off campus whenever we'd like. However, Houston didn't. And so a lot of the time Houston would always ask us like, oh, can we go out to the this place? Can we go to this place? Like, going out to eat. And it was a theme that we both noticed, that it's like, okay, why does she keep asking us to go out to get food? Like, but like that's all she texts. Like, when we don't text, like it's like ghosts from her unless she texts about a boy. And one point that really turned me off from being friends with her was So Chicago, he's not from the US. He was in the US on a work visa that you could get for a year to, if you're like a business student or whatever. And so he was actually leaving the country over the summer, is what he told me. And so like it really just took a toll on our relationship, and I was going through a hard time because it's like my boyfriend's leaving the fucking country and like I might never see him again. So like, oh my god, horrifying. So I would tell Houston this, whatever. Houston like knew the situation. And then one time in like March, Houston ends up texting in our group chat the most ridiculous thing and like tone deaf thing ever, being like, even thinking about it, I'm like, but she texted in a group chat like a month later and be like, me and whatever his name was, since he's moving to a different state, we decided to be boyfriend and girlfriend for the night and break up in the morning. I'm just really sad right now. Something along those lines of ridiculousness. Like, what is this pity party you're throwing for yourself? Like, also, like, I'm going through something like 10 times worse, like, and I'm not sitting here in the group chat being like, oh, feel bad for me, da 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 da. Like, so annoying. And like that just like really tipped me over the edge with like dealing with her. I understand like everybody has their own problems, everybody goes through things, but come on, like you cannot sit here and tell me like that was a real life problem. So many more fish in the sea, and like tweaking out over this one guy that you went on one date with, by the way. Insanity. So this is like a breaking point of like, I was kind of a little fed up with our friendship. Like, she's only texting us about guys. Like, I've been talking with Jillian and Josephine about the theme before. Like, we had all kind of like noticed it. And so around like April, May, I stopped texting first. And then like the other two girls, they also stopped texting her and reaching out because we were all just kind of like done with her. And like there had also been times when me and her have like gotten into arguments before, like in class. This is when it was like, nah bro, like it's not worth it. They gave her like one more chance or something, or like Jillian gave her one more chance. I don't know about Josephine, but Josephine just kind of was like there. Jillian gave her one more chance, and then it like, nothing. We didn't contact her because it's like she never reaches out. So the conversation just died. Like, we all just kind of stopped being friends. So then in May, at the end of May, me and my ex broke up because he was leaving the country. I was going on study abroad in late June. It would be better just to break up then rather than us like trying to make the relationship work while I was abroad and like almost ruining my experience. Which was the right thing to do. Looking back was really the right thing to do. And like, I don't regret. I regret breaking up with him sooner. Honestly, with that whole situation. Like, so we broke up, but we were still in contact. We were still talking. It was almost like we were in a relationship still, honestly. Because that's how we kind of acted. We were still like saying I love you and shit like that. It just like, we just didn't have labels on it. And so I went to Taiwan. I went to Korea at first. I went to Korea. Oh no, I went like early June. I forgot I went to Korea. And then like later June is when I went to Taiwan. So I went to Taiwan, was doing my study abroad. It was a great time. I would still contact him every once in a while, but I didn't talk to him a lot because like I was doing things. You know, I'm abroad. Like, I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm gonna have a good time. Like, I'm gonna meet new people and like go crazy. I would like tell like the people part of my program and my friend and stuff like that, and like I would tell them about us, whatever. And at one point, I think it was early July, is when everything went to a breaking point, when I said we shouldn't say I love you anymore, because honestly my feelings were fizzling out because of how he was treating me, how he was reacting. And I was like, you know, like, you keep flip-flopping between if you're staying in America or not, and like it wasn't fair on my feelings to sit here and still be like, I love you, blah, 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 but like, I don't even know if we're ever gonna get back together. So shit hit the fan. So we end up completely, like, he sent some crazy messages. I block him on everything. I'm done. So then fast forward to August time, I'm back in America. It's around my birthday. I was talking with one of my friends, and he's mutual friends with Houston. And so he was telling me like, oh, Chicago messaged Houston over the summer. And I was like, really? Oh, also, tidbit, Houston and Chicago did not like each other during my relationship. Like, they would talk shit about each other because they didn't like each other. But Houston ended up being like, oh yeah, like, Chicago reached out to me over this. He just like was like asking about me and da-da-da, and like, I'm not really friends with Elsby anymore, so like I messaged him back, and my friend was like, okay, whatever, like, he didn't really give a fuck, cause like, why would he? I was like, okay, noted, but like, that is kind of weird. And I knew the only reason why my ex was doing it was because he wanted to piss me off. That's it, because he knew I wasn't fond of her anymore, like, I didn't really like her. So he knew how to piss me off. These are two people that are out of my life now. Like, I don't need to be in contact with them anymore. Like, I don't need to sit here and like be like, because like, why would I care? Like, sorry, y'all are weirdos. September, I'm getting over him, you know. I'm doing what I need to do and hanging out with friends. I'm just enjoying my senior year because like, I'm not gonna give myself the disservice of not enjoying my senior year in college with all my friends. Like, I'm gonna enjoy it. Like, it doesn't matter even if I went through a horrible breakup over the summer and like a horrible situation. I was just scrolling. I woke up in the morning and I was just scrolling on my phone. And I see I have like a few DMs, but I'm like not thinking much of it. And I check my friend Josephine's DM, and it's a screenshot of a conversation she had with her friend Jesselyn, I love her to death, actually. I love Jesselyn. And Jesselyn goes, oh, are Elsby and Chicago still together? Or it was either that, or it was like, oh, like, what are Houston and Chicago doing together? And it's a photo of them on a date. Oh, I put one nail on, by the way. It's them two on a date at a restaurant. She's all dressed up, and he had tagged her with a heart. And I was like, there's no way, because earlier that morning, I literally like watched stories and I saw her at a restaurant, and I was like, oh, like, cool, whatever. I didn't think much of it. And then I saw that screenshot and I was like, oh my God, they went on a date. However, he tagged her in his post. She didn't tag him in the post. Both photos were of her. But I was like, oh, that's fucking insane. And so like I ran downstairs because I'm like, no fucking way. And my roommate, she's like, oh my God, like, what's happening? And while I was running downstairs, I forgot our friend was on the couch. So I like was in my underwear. So that was a little embarrassing, but whatever. I ran downstairs and I was like, dude, Nora, you'll never guess what happened. Like, you'll never guess what I just fucking, like, you'll never fucking guess fucking what. And so she was like, no fucking way. And we're both like, no fucking way. Like, this is crazy. I called Jillian because we were like, no fucking way. Like, this is insane. And so Jillian, bless her soul, she's the type of person that will give someone the benefit of the doubt, even if they, like, she'll give them a chance to at least explain themselves. And maybe Houston has like a good explanation as to why she's on a date with Chicago. Like, let's hear them out. And I was like, okay, you know what? You're right. Let's hear them out. She didn't ask my permission to text her. She just texted her to kind of get an explanation. Like, I was like done, blocked. Like, I blocked her immediately. I was like, I don't need this bad energy. However, Jillian was like, let me give her a chance. So Jillian texted her, DM'd her, and was like, what's this? Because, like, you know, crazy thing. Like, why are you on a date with Chicago? Like, hello. And Houston starts to be like, oh, we're not on a date. Like, we're just friends. You know, after you and Elsby and, like, Josephine all ditched me. Like, we're just friends. Dressed to the nine, looking like twos, at a 3 out of 5 star restaurant. Like, come on. Like, you guys did this just to piss me off. You went on a date with him just to piss me off. Like, y'all are weird as hell. And so, like, she asked her why. It's like, she immediately started shifting and be like, you're blah, blah, blah. And then Jillian was like, why though? Like, you didn't have to. And she kept making these excuses. And it's like, bro, you look fucking crazy. Like, finished one hand. So, Miss Houston couldn't, like, explain herself. So, obviously, Miss Jillian was like, girl, like, have a good life. Like, you're a dickhead. You know, we had, like, a lot of mutual friends, like, in Chinese club and everything. A lot of people saw through her shit. And, like, high-key took my side at the end of the day. Like, I wasn't telling people to pick sides because that's just not who I am. Like, people will gravitate to me and my energy and my honesty. I don't need to pull anyone to my side over a fight with someone that I'm not friends with anymore. Like, that's just not something I'm willing to waste my energy on. Like, if people want to pick sides, like, that's their prerogative, but, like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you have to be friends with me or her, because, like, it was never that serious. So, yeah. And so a lot of people did clock her behavior and were like, oh, like, that's crazy. Even, like, now and then she would do little things to try and get my attention. Like, Chinese club had a Lunar New Year prom, and she went to Lunar New Year prom, and I was gonna be there. And I made, like, jokes about, like, oh, I'm gonna smack her, like, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't gonna fucking hit her. I can't hit anybody, like, hello. Something that I missed that I should have added when it came to me, like, making these fake threats. I wasn't gonna hit her. I wasn't gonna smack her. But out loud, I did say, like, if she comes, I'm gonna smack her. Which I understand how she took that. However, she took that and ran because she started claiming that I'm white. She's not white. She started claiming that I was saying this because I was gonna commit a hate crime on her. And she started playing the race card saying, I'm gonna hate crime her. When it was never about a hate crime. It was the fact that you went on a date with my boyfriend. That's why I was so pissed off that you're showing up, because, like, Chinese club was my thing and you're coming and invading my space when you had already invaded my ex-boyfriend. Like, I can't fight anybody. I was gonna fight her, but I was making jokes like, I don't want her to fucking be there. Like, I was much more dedicated to this club than she ever was. It was very obvious, like, a lot of people at this prom, like, gravitated towards me. Like, everyone's hanging out with me. Like, quite a few of my friends, like, that, like, also knew her didn't even go up to her because, like, she's just like a weirdo, and, like, she's done weird shit before, and, like, people have had, like, experiences with her before where it's like, oh, like, every time I've talked to her, like, she only talks about boys. Or, like, another friend, like, another mutual friend, like, realized this night, like, the guy that she brought was actually someone that she said was too young for her and she was never gonna go out with because of too young. And then, like, she would then post photos of them, like, on dates and shit like that. And, like, they also clocked that behavior and was like, that's weird as shit. Like, you sit here and say, like, this person's too young, you can't date this person, you're not gonna date this person, you're not into this person, then you're turning around and dating these people. Like, she also shitted on me and one of our other friends for dating guys that were, like, younger than us, which is, like, we can date whoever we want. Like, we're in college. Like, at the end of the day, like, just because you don't think we should date them doesn't mean, like, we can't date them. Like, clearly dating an older guy wasn't fucking great, but, like, why be so judgmental? And then she, like, turned around and, like, dates someone 3 years younger than her who's, like, she's 22 and he's 18. Like, girl, like, the math ain't mathing. But I digress. But she did that, and then, like, one of our other mutual friends, who, like, we're not that close to, she was just in our Chinese class, and, like, we would, like, talk every once in a while. One day, Houston and this girl run into each other, just, like, on campus, and Houston, the girl from our Chinese class literally told me this, like, after, or told one of my friends, and they told me, because like we were in the same space. I was just like working at this like club fair when we ran into her, but she ended up running into Houston. And Houston, they said like, oh, hello, how are you, blah blah, and then Houston immediately goes, oh yeah, like I'm not friends with Elsby and that whole group anymore because they think I slept with Chicago. The girl from my Chinese class, I don't even think knew about Chicago. Like I don't think like she even like knows who Chicago is. Like I never introduced Chicago to like a lot of these people, because like why would I? They're in my class. Like I'm not like super close to these people anyway. That's another example of like some really weird shit she do. And then like the girl from our class would be like, yeah, she did this. Like I found it really weird. And it's like, me too, because like why the fuck does she feel the need to even like talk about it? Like I'm sorry, like this is like months and months and months after, like you're still thinking about it. But yeah, just things like that happen, you know. We still have like mutual friends that I'd hear stuff from every once in a while, but like I was like, whatever, like, you know, this girl's just like a weirdo at the end of the day, and like nothing I can really do about that. That's her problem. She has to live with herself at the end of the day. I don't. Oh, a month ago, since our birthdays are like a week apart, because my birthday's in August, like beginning August, and hers is like 8 days after, something like that. The only person to repost her and post her on her birthday was my ex, was Chicago. Life lesson learned: just don't be friends with someone who claims they're a girl's girl and then will turn around and like only talk about guys and stuff like that, because that's the exact type of person she was. She would go being like, I'm a girl's girl, da 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 da, and then would like turn around and her whole like mental revolved around a guy. It was there's always a guy involved with her, and it's like this is all a reflection. I do think he's still the crazier one, and out of all of this, like he's still the crazy bitch. I feel sorry for her, honestly, that she even got involved with him, and she to this day doesn't know what actually went down between my ex-boyfriend and I. And like if she did know, maybe she would be thinking about this shit a lot more critically, rather than thinking of it as a, oh, they ditched me, so now I'm gonna get back at her type situation, because that's what it kind of feels like. That's what happened. Like it was a shitty situation for me, but at the end of the day, like I've moved on, I've grown from this, I've learned from what they did and how to be more careful and protect myself with the people that I surround myself with, because at the end of the day, like I want to surround myself with people who are compassionate and look out for me and don't pull snake ass shit like that. But yeah, I finished my nails, super pretty. I'm like already like talking with my nails. Like I definitely want to do a story time about my ex-boyfriend. That's gonna take me so fucking long though. I hope you enjoyed my video. I had a lot of fun making this, actually, just like talking and just feeling like I'm talking on like the phone with one of my friends, telling a story that I've been through. And oh, I have so many more stories. I'm a very intricate person. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to hear more stories, and I'll see you next time. Bye!